A little bit over here, a little bit over there, a little bit behind the ear, on the shirt, under the armpits, a little bit on the shoe, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. No, gentlemen. Now, if this is you every single morning, then you definitely clicked on the right video. So how about you stick around? What is up, gentlemen? It's your boy Nessa here, coming at you with yet another video drop. Hope you all are doing okay, and I would like to welcome you back to the channel. So today I decided to delve into a bit of a different video. We're going to be looking at colognes, and more specifically how to apply colognes in order to not come off as a douchebag but still being able to express yourself through the power of fragrance. Now, the first tip that I have for you guys is know your cologne. Now, what I mean by know your cologne is, have you ever seen those funny labels that are at the back of the box, maybe at the front, that usually go along the lines of parfum, eau de parfum, eau de toilette, eau de cologne? Yes, all those labels. Those aren't just fancy labels to entice you to buy the cologne, they actually mean something. Now, I'm not going to delve into all the types, but rather the two most common types you're likely to bump into when you're buying cologne at the mall, at your favorite beauty shop or whatever. So that's going to be eau de parfum and the eau de toilette. Now, colognes are usually categorized by the concentration of oils that you actually find within these colognes. Now that's meaning something like eau de parfum is going to have higher concentration of oils, and something like an eau de toilette is going to have less oils and is a bit more water-based. Now, because oil has a higher tendency to hold on to smells and to stick to your skin longer, eau de parfums are going to be more expensive, they're going to last longer, and hence you spray less when you have an eau de parfum and you spray more when you have an eau de toilette. Now, of course, there's a lot more going on here and I'm oversimplifying, but if you are to say that you spray more with an eau de toilette and less with an eau de parfum, you will be right 4 out of 5 of the times. Now, for the other 1 out of 5, or that's for another video later. Now, for me, as a general rule of thumb, I tend to go 4 sprays when I have an eau de parfum and 6 sprays when I have an eau de toilette. And so, for example, this Tom Ford ombre leather that you see here says it's an eau de parfum. It says so at the back. I go 4 sprays when I'm using this one. And then when I have something like this Yves Saint Laurent Cura Silva, which is an amazing everyday fragrance, by the way. Look at the back. It says eau de toilette. I don't know if you can read that. I usually go 6 sprays. Okay, gentlemen, so here's some more examples. Creed, Aventus, eau de parfum, 4 sprays. Okay, Versace Eros, here it is. Eau de toilette, 6 sprays. Baldessarini, here it is. Eau de toilette, 6 sprays. So, you get it? I think you get it. Cool. Moving on. Now, for those of you in Zimbabwe, here's a clutch plug for you guys. If you're looking for a cheap, affordable, and reliable place to buy your colognes for cheaper, look no further than the Facebook page, Perfume Choices. Now, Perfume Choices harbors a whole range of perfumes, ranging from the top tier colognes like your David Off Cool Waters, which is, by the way, one of the top 5 selling colognes of all time, to your mid-range and lower tier perfume that you can kind of spray day to day. Now, the great thing about buying your perfumes off Perfume Choices on Facebook is you get the colognes cheaper than you would actually get them in store, and you can save yourself a couple of bucks, or you could even end up buying 2 or 3 colognes instead of just the one. I will leave a link in the description below to the Facebook page Perfume Choices, or you can search them up yourself on Facebook. But before you run away, finish the video. Now, the next thing we have to do is figure out where on our bodies we actually want to be applying this stuff. Now, when you're applying cologne on your body, you want to make sure that you're applying it by your pulse points. Now, pulse points are basically the places where you can feel a pulse on your body. Now, why we target pulse points is because this is where the most heat is generated on your body, and more heat means better projection of your cologne, and a better projection of your cologne means more compliments. We all want more compliments, don't we? Now when I'm applying, for example, an eau de toilette, I usually target 3 areas, and I usually put 1 spray on each side. So for example, eau de toilette, I go 1, 2 behind the ear, 1, 2 by my neck, then 1 and 2 by my wrists. So now when you have something like an eau de parfum, all you have to do is eliminate 1 of the 3 areas, and then you put in 4 sprays. Now the best time to actually be putting on cologne is straight out of the shower, right after you've dried yourself, because at this point in time your pores are wide open. Okay, so now that we've covered the things that you do when you're putting on cologne, how about we look at the things that you absolutely shouldn't be doing? Now, absolutely shouldn't do thing number 1, do not spray your cologne on your clothing. Now the reason for this is all the chemical components that you find within the cologne tend to wear and tear your clothing a lot quicker when you do so. Now it's over a very long period of time, so you may not see it today, you may not see it tomorrow, but you will definitely see it someday, and when you do, I'll be there to say I told you so. Absolutely shouldn't do thing number 2. Now you know that thing that they do in the movies, you know that cool thing, you know what I'm talking about, you've seen it before, where they take the cologne, spray it into the air, and they be walking into the atmosphere. Yeah, don't do that. That's an absolute waste. Most of that cologne is going to the ground or your clothing, and it will not, I repeat, will not last you throughout the day. Okay, now absolutely shouldn't do thing number 3. You know that thing that people do when they kind of spray it on one wrist, close up the cologne, and they do this little rub-a-dub-dub? Yeah, don't do that. Now the reason why you shouldn't do that isn't because you're wasting the cologne per se, but then a cologne is much like a 3-course meal. You have your start, you have your main course, you have the dessert. Now a cologne is made out of 3 parts. You have the top note, you have the heart note, and then you have the base note. So these are 3 different levels of scent that you get within your cologne. It might start out citrusy, then after 2 or 3 hours it goes down to sweet. After a few hours it goes down to leather and quite mature. Right, now what you're doing when you do the little rub-a-dub-dub is you've broken down the cologne and its sequence. Right, so maybe you've taken off the entire top note and you're left with the heart note and the base note. So if you had a cologne and you bought it for $100, you've probably rubbed away $50. So don't do it. Now the last thing, and probably the most important thing that you absolutely shouldn't do when you're spraying cologne, gentlemen, if you're going to take one thing out of this entire video, it has to be this: do not, and I repeat, do not overspray. The last thing you want is for your cologne to introduce itself before you even introduce yourself to the person you are meeting. Now if you go up and meet someone smelling like you dipped yourself in a lake of Versace, you're just as bad as Stinky Bob who hasn't taken a shower for 2 weeks, because overspraying is just as bad as having a bad odor. It's offensive. Remember guys, less is more. And that's it for today's video guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, how about you drop us one of these, a like down below. Also comment down below on what kind of cologne videos you'd like to see on the channel in the future, and what tips or cologne tricks do you think that I missed out in this particular video that we can cover in the videos to come. Now on this channel we cover fashion style tips and give fashion advice to help you become more fashionable. So if your style is street, dapper, or even smart casual, you might want to consider subscribing. Otherwise, that's it for me today. I'll see you next time. Keep it fresh, keep it clean, keep it safe. Cheers.